Hey guys, before this video starts, quick disclaimer. I just want to mention, if you came here to watch the Camp Olympia video, I will not be uploading it this weekend. And this is not the Camp Olympia video either. I'm not uploading it this weekend for no other reason than I just have to make sure that I get all the Snapchats and YouTubes of the people that I showed in that video right. And there's a few other things that I have to get right, and I figured for this week I wouldn't be able to get it done in the time I had this week or today. So if you're not into techie stuff or like all the advanced things that I like to talk about, just cut off this video right now. Go and watch like last week's video or something like that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. Hey guys, I'm Cyborg Sheep, and welcome to the Weekend Post. In this episode, we're going to be doing a review on these Energizer rechargeable batteries. Just in case you're wondering, this week I will not be uploading the Camp Olympia video. That'll be uploaded next weekend, mainly because there's a few things that I need to get straight, like links to people's Snapchats and YouTubes and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be coming out next weekend. But for now, let's do a review on these. Let's talk about some of the things like C ratings, milliamp ratings, and a little bit about how batteries work too. So let's get started. Alright, so this is the schematic diagram for a battery. So basically how a battery works is, if you've ever taken like science or electricity class or something like that, it basically uses the principles of electrostatics. In case you don't know what electrostatics is, it's basically just like, you know how like the comical rubbing a balloon on something and then sticking it to your hair or something like that, or like when you walk against the carpet and then touch something metal and it shocks you. That's basically electrostatics. So what in the case of a battery, what happens is basically when a battery is fully charged, there'll be an excess of electrons on the negative terminal on the battery. When you connect a load, for example, just the resistor, or I guess in this case like a motor, or like I guess this battery pack, and you put a power functions motor on that, what will happen is, let's draw a real quick resistor right there. So what will happen is when you connect a something that needs power, the electrons will flow through from your battery's negative terminal through the load, and then onto the positive terminal. All the while, electron holes are migrating from the negative terminal of the battery to the positive terminal of your battery, ready to receive their electrons. So that's what happens when you discharge a battery. But what about when you charge it? Alright, so now you've got your battery charging. So, first what will happen is, the AC current coming out of your wall socket, which right here, will be sent through something called a power supply. Doesn't necessarily supply the power, it just adapts it to a more usable form of voltage. Because what comes out of your wall socket is a very, very high voltage. Honestly, it can kill you. It's pretty lethal. It also will be the way power flows will be changing its direction 60 times per second. So anyways, it will send it through a power supply, which will which first of all will basically go through 4 things called diodes. And basically what a diode is, it only allows power to flow in one direction, which is perfect for what we call rectifying it. So anyways, once it comes out of the four little diode things, it'll look something like this, and that's still sort of not usable. So then what we do is we send it through a capacitor, which makes it look something like this. And then basically it goes through the battery. But if you look inside the charger, this won't be the only thing that you'll see. You'll also find this, a charging circuit. And because if we look at the way this type of battery charges, the way it charges isn't just linear. It will charge in a way that looks sort of like this. So what will happen is the charger will be charging it, and the way the type of batteries that we're looking at charge, they actually slightly overcharge. What the charger does is detect the peak current that the batteries possess, and then only lets it drop so far, and then it just stops charging. So now you have your batteries charged. You can put them back into your battery holder and run your motor once again. Also, I forgot to mention, never charge non-rechargeable batteries. Non-rechargeable batteries, the materials that are used inside them are not meant to be recharged. When I looked in the manual, it said that if you attempt to charge a non-rechargeable battery, it'll leak or may even explode. So anyways, let's move on. Alright, so next let's talk about the milliamp hour rating. So this right here, as you can see, it's a 700 milliamp hour battery, and this right here is a 1500 milliamp hour battery. So what milliamp hours are is basically the amount of space the amount of charge that a battery can hold. And basically how you calculate it is you see what you'll say, like what the amount of milliamps a battery can deliver each hour, which makes sense because it's like milliamps per hour sort of thing, you know. And basically what milliamps are, they're amps times 1,000. They're the amps times 1,000. So this is a 15,000 milliamp hour battery. So the calculation that I just did can also convert into charging the battery. What you'll do on some chargers, like RC chargers, which I'll leave a link to a couple examples in the description. What they'll always ask for is the amp rate you want to charge them at. So basically, what you'll do is you'll say, come on, focus, come on. Anyways, you'll say 1,500 milliamps times, or rather divided by 1,000, and that will give you the charge rate. So then what you'll do is it'll be hooked up, and then it'll start charging. Pretty simple. Alright, so that's basically how they work. I'm sure you already know, like, more than you'll ever want to know about how batteries work and stuff like that. So anyways, my review on these, they're amazing. I used them, I only, at Camp Olympia, I only used 2 of these things. I honestly brought 6 because I didn't think these would hold up to spec, and honestly, they lasted like at least 2 days without my camera flashing and saying that it's low battery. They only just recently died, like at 6 or something. So if I'd have to say how long they last in my camera in particular, it would be at least 2 weeks and a bit. But anyways, so my final review on these is they're perfect for things that don't have batteries that you might, that only use like AA's that are not rechargeable, that's something that you may want to make rechargeable, but you can't because like something like this, it doesn't come in a rechargeable form. This is the only version of this. There is no rechargeable version of this. The rechargeable version looks more like the battery pack in my train thing, and that's like, it may work for some things, but for others, like the 2 construction trucks that I have back there, it probably wouldn't work. So they're pretty good. The only reason why I don't like these is the reason that I got them. Obviously, I got them for Christmas. My dad gave them to me. Very, very grateful that he gave them to me because they're perfect. They work flawlessly. But the only reason I don't like them is for Christmas, what I would have preferred him to get was the reason he got me these was for my EV3, and honestly, I have to say it doesn't really matter if he got these or the rechargeable battery. I just prefer that he did get the battery that's meant for it. For no other reason than it's just my personal thoughts. But anyways, hope you dudes enjoyed this quick little theory and review video. Hope you enjoyed coming down to your one-stop shop for everything, you name it. Reviews, theory videos, electronics, batteries, you name it, I'll talk about it. Hit that like button if you liked it. or hit the dislike button and suggest something else for me to do. Obviously nothing stupid. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you dudes in the next episode.